Good day YouTube, JD here. Today is Thursday and I am subbing for Yucca. Today's topic is pagan justice or different types of justice. Today's question is down below, but the basic actual tone of the question is what should neo-pagans believe in when you have a choice between punitive justice or restorative justice? And in doing research in both of these systems, I found that restorative justice is more geared toward a small community or village type system. Um, Punitive justice seems to me to be a bit of a evolution of restorative justice, just based off of sheer numbers and how many people society has become populated with. Personally, I feel like the question is more of a subjective type of question. I think it's going to come down to what what are your morals, what are your upbringing, who taught you, your sense of right and wrong, or who influenced your system of what is right and wrong. Um, if you're familiar with the alignment system for film, video games, and media, I would subscribe to the lawful good system. So I see myself in real life as being a lawful good person, and the way I define law is I see law as a rule or a actual boundary that has been set up by the community. So I lean more toward the restorative justice as well. However, I don't think that the restorative justice system would work in today's society because of the sheer number of people that we have to deal with today. The way that we have built up commerce, the way that we have built up different boundaries just on land, there is a kind of a rhyme to the way that they've taken the power away from the community with today's system of punitive justice. In a punitive justice system, there will be a third party, which is probably the state, that comes in and says, hey, someone was wronged here, and we have these rules that we set up, and we're going to punish you according to these rules. Whereas in a restorative justice system, like I said earlier, it's going to be a smaller system, so you're going to have a system set up where the person that made the offense steps up and he says, hey, I did something wrong, I want to make amends, and there's no law involved at all. There isn't anyone with a badge or a weapon who's going to force this offender to do anything. What does force the offender to do something in a restorative system is, to me, is them worrying about their title. So if you can think back in the old ages, you would come from a family, and that family would have a well-known name. Nowadays, people don't really care too much about their last name, but in those days, kind of like the show Games of Thrones, where you have them saying a Lannister always pays their debts. That's showing you right there that there's a kind of a strand of a restorative justice system there, where if you're a Lannister, you have to pay your debts. You have to step in there and say, look, I made a mistake, and I'm going to go ahead and clear my family name. So I feel like that's a system that we've kind of moved away from. Nowadays people do, all kinds of horrible things, and they don't care, what their last name is. And to me, that's a very personal thing, because, just like any adult of 30 years or more, we've all had situations come into our lives where you've kind of had that split moment where you thought about doing something really, really bad, but we all have things that keep us in line. And personally, what I have come to rely on is I look at it and I say, hey, what will my family think? I don't want to be someone who is going to be put in front of society that has that has had my entire name, my first and last name, up on the news saying, that this person did this or this person did that. So to me, it's important to keep my name clear. So I really harken back to that system of restorative justice. So that being said, I just don't think that it would work nowadays. People don't care. We've got way too many people. It takes, and I feel like it may take too long to just get all these different people paying off these things and making amends. So if I had to choose one, I would choose restorative justice. But today's society probably would just stick with the punitive system. We've just got too many things set up to keep it in power, and there's just too many. Even with the way laws are set up, and we've got lawyers and things making money off of it, there's no going back. That's where we are. But as far as just to summarize, as far as like what a pagan should believe, I think it's going to be subjective. You folks will see me next week as well, because it's going to be a subless week. So I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, and blessed be.